Hey Barney, we're going to start tomato seeds today. You want to help? Okay, maybe later. Hey Ginger, we're starting tomato seeds today. You want to help? Sweet. Hey Charlie, we're starting the tomatoes today. We're going to put the seeds in. You want to help? Doesn't seem to be as much excitement about starting tomato plants as I would have thought. Hello, and welcome back to the farm. Today is a day that we look forward to all year long because in our world it symbolizes spring is fast approaching. We're going to plant tomatoes. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our tray. Any generic tray will work, but this is what we use. We use these Jiffy strips. There's 50 of them. No, we don't get any money for saying that. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 50 of these in the tray. So let's do that. And when you put 50 of them in here, it just happens to fill the tray pretty good. So we put these things in here. Now this is a departure from what we usually use. We usually use the 128 flats, but we found by using these 2x2s that it allows us to not have to transplant as much. Now what I'll do is once the plants come up, we will actually take these out to the field, break the bottoms of these out, and plant them straight into the garden. So anyway, as you can see, we've got 50 in the tray. So what are we going to do? We're going to get our dirt out. So here we go. Again, we've got regular potting soil or whatever you have. I highly suggest that you not pull dirt out of your yard to do this. You get weeds, you get all kinds of crap in it. If you do, you need to sterilize it because of the potential for disease. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some dirt, and if you're opposed to getting dirty, this could be a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a handful or two of this dirt, see, and we're going to put it in the tray. And so as you can see, we kind of spread it out. Scoosh over there. And we're going to fill it up. Now, you got some sticks and rocks and who knows what's in these things, but nonetheless, this is some good growing medium. Use a good starter mix. If you want to make it, or however you want to do it, that's fine. Just make sure that it's a good way to get your tomatoes started off. You do not want to get them off to a bad start. Tomatoes are one of those crops that once you get them going, they are absolutely amazing, especially here in the Mid-South. We live in West Tennessee. We have humidity and we have heat, and tomatoes just love it. Unfortunately, so does disease, and we have problems with that, and we'll talk about that as the season goes on. But as you can see, I got my dirt put in my 2x2s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these first degree black belt hands, and yes, I am a first degree black belt, and I'm going to wax on, wax off, and push the dirt down. And so away we go. We're pushing the dirt down the best we can. It's not like a 128 tray, but it's close enough. And so what we're going to do is we're going to push it down, and we're going to pick it up and drop it, not 6 feet. Just drop it about 6-8 inches and compress the dirt. Again, we're going to go back and clean up some of the sticks and stuff that's in it. Away we go. Now, yes, your hands are going to get dirty. That's all part of it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what kind of tomatoes we're going to grow. We've actually done that. We have, this year we got super sauce. We always grow some of these. This is aroma style tomato. It is a paste style. You can make ketchup and that sort of thing out of it. You can eat them too, but that's not really what they're for. These are expensive. These are from Burpees, 25 seeds in this thing, but they do grow relatively well. We also, from Jung Seed, we have these Mariana hybrids. Now this is a departure for us. This is an experimental tomato. We don't normally grow these, but I saw them in the catalog and they looked intriguing, so we're going to try. The big difference between this one and all the rest of them we're going to grow, this is a Determinate style tomato plant. What a Determinate style means is it only grows up so far and stops. which is a little different. We normally grow indeterminate style plants here because of the disease problems we have in the late summer. So this will be interesting to see how this goes. So we'll see. And then we have the staple here at the farm, which is Celebrity. We grow Celebrity tomatoes every year. And if you get disease, you get all these other, they just keep coming back. They are absolutely amazing. We have grown virtually every kind of tomato you can imagine over the years. And the Celebrities are the ones that keep us going. Now, every place in the country or in the world has different ideas about what grows best where. So I suggest that you figure it out and use whatever it is that you need. But these, for us here in the Mid-South area, when you have 100-degree heat and 90% humidity all summer long, this is the way to go. These are from Haas Seeds, by the way, or Haas Tools. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a seed or two in every one of these. Now, we're going to make 2 of these, but what we want is to get the best germination possible. We do not want to fail on our tomato plants. Now, we're not going to have a problem with it. We've got a germination chamber here where we will put this in once we're done and we get it the way we want it. We'll put it in over there, we'll leave it for a few days, and they will blow out of the ground. It's amazing. The germination chamber temperatures today will be set at 85, and they will stay there until we get plant emergence. At that point, we will pull the plants out, put them directly under the lights, and leave them there for, depends on what's going on outside and how the plants do, but I'm guessing 6 weeks or so, and they will go straight into the garden after hardening off. If you don't know what hardening off is, we'll talk about that just for a second. Basically, when the plants come out of the lights, you have to set them outside for a few days to make them get used to the direct sunlight, get used to wind, get used to adverse environments before they actually go in the garden. So let's put some seeds in the tray. Now, if you've watched any of our past videos, you'll know we use an imp seeder for the 128 trays, but the 128 trays are designed for this particular tool. And these Jiffy strips are not. You can see the holes here don't line up to the individual cells. So what we're going to do is we're still going to use our imp seeder, but we are going to pour the seeds into the seeder and use them one seed at a time, one cell at a time, to help not lose many of our seeds. Now, this is one thing I like about Haas Tools. They give you these little row markers, and it's really nice. You wouldn't think it's that big a deal, but it's really nice when you go to put these things in the chambers because of the fact that everything gets mixed up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this imp seeder, and I'm only going to use this right here. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take a seed and put it in a hole. I'm going to take another seed. I'm going to move it and put it in the hole. I'm going to move it again and put it in the hole. I'm going to move it again. I'm going to put it in the hole. I'm going to move it again and put it in the hole. If you look, I have one seed per cell, which is exactly what we want. These seeds are not cheap. So we'll continue to do this until we're done. As you can see, it makes pretty short work of our, got an extra one there, of our seed work here, which is very nice because this is probably the hardest part of the whole process, is getting one seed per cell. And so we will get, oh, that one didn't fall. There you go. But we will make this thing work. This imp seeder was a game changer when we got it a couple years ago. And we got it from a guy, I believe he was in New York. Don't hold me to that. And I saw this and I thought, wow, what a great idea, because I prefer not to use pelletized seed. Now, I do use pelletized seed when I'm using a Haas seeder, which is behind me. But for direct transplanting into the germination chamber, I prefer just to use regular seeds. If nothing else, it's much less expensive to use just regular seeds. But when you use regular seeds, you have a tendency to just pour the seeds into the cells, and you might get 50 plants in one cell and one in another cell. It's just ridiculous. So this makes the job so much easier, and it was relatively inexpensive. I don't remember what I paid for it, but nonetheless, as you can see, I'm predominantly getting one seed per cell. Now I guess we're going to see if Haas actually gives us 50 seeds. I believe that was what was in that bag. I'll look here in a minute. And if they gave us one seed per, we will know shortly. Now, since I'm going on this side, I will switch over to here. They're probably not used to actually having people count their seeds. I wonder how they do that anyway. I have no idea. If you know how they're doing that, somebody send me a direct message or something so then I know. You might be asking yourself, why do you need 100 tomato plants? Because we're going to grow 100. Well, if you think about all the food that you grow or that you eat throughout the course of a year, well, that's what we're planning for. We're hoping not to have to buy any. And look at that. Haas said we got 50. We got 50. Imagine that. As you can tell, Imp Seeder and Haas Tools did not let us down. So we got a single tomato plant in each cell. If you've watched any of our videos before, you know you should know we use a lot of vermiculite. What vermiculite does is we'll put it directly over the top of the seed setup we have, and then we will water it down, and the vermiculite will keep the moisture in over the seed and promote germination. The professionals have been doing it for years. Most people have never heard of this. We've been using it for a number of years and have had amazing success with our seed starting. So let's get some of the vermiculite out. They have different kinds. Some of it is coarse, some of it is fine. I prefer to use the fine, but I don't think it really matters as long as you cover all of the flat. When you can see what I'm doing here, getting all the vermiculite over all our seeds. Doesn't have to be thick, just needs to have some. I prefer not to be able to see the dirt on top, but I mean, you know, whatever works for you. Stuff is relatively inexpensive. I believe I got this off Amazon, but you can probably find it at your local garden centers. Not sure. When I buy vermiculite and seed and stuff, I usually buy lots and lots, so I don't have to buy it for years at a time, because I don't like fooling with it. And there we go. Put a little more over here. And now, our tomatoes are celebrity tomatoes, in this case, are almost ready for the germination chamber. One more step. Here we are. And what we're going to do is, and this might be one of the hardest parts, is we're going to water in our tomatoes. Now, in order to use these Jiffy strips, you got to kind of pick one up and kind of move it. You got to be careful not to spill your stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my watering can. I'm going to make a mess probably. And I'm going to pour the water into the base. Now, watering from the bottom is the key. Water seeping from the bottom. Once the seeds start up, the roots will grow deep into these cells and promote great plant growth later. We're probably about half full, and that's going to work for me right now. And so I'll set this over here, and I will carefully, notice I said carefully, put this back in to where we started. The plan is to let this sit for about 30 minutes, and then I will put it in a preheated germination chamber at 85 degrees at 80% humidity and leave it for several days, and it will come up and just shoot up out of the ground. as the excitement fades around the farm, as we got our tomato seeds in, now they're in the germination chamber, it truly makes you appreciate spring when it gets here. It's been a long, cold winter, as many of them are. And all the guys are tired of it. We got water everywhere. We got mud everywhere. It's been a long winter. Until next time, see you down at the barn.